So speaking about how governments may inhibit this kind of media report, actually we studied the ones in Thailand. So there was a festival called Songkran Festival in Thailand, and there was a lot of sexual harassment cases taking place in that festival. And government said that women shouldn't dress too sexy in order to prevent that kind of thing. So do you think it is fair for government to have this campaign? Yeah.
I think if the government is smart enough, then they listen to what people say, and I think they should deal with it.
So actually, after government posted this kind of claim, there was a backlash on social media. That is similar with Me Too saying, "Don't tell me how to dress." It's similar with Me Too. So, do you think this kind of social media movement in Thailand can help kind of like replicate the cases in Western countries?
I think the people should speak, of course, speak out loud what they think. And if the government doesn't listen, then they just continue speaking. And if they are not satisfied with the government, then maybe one day, somehow, step by step, the things may change.
Yeah. So speaking of like countries like such as China and Thailand and probably Estonia, maybe like the culture is relatively conservative. So compared to Western cultures, so do you think like this kind of Eastern countries or cultures take a different approach in dealing with sexual harassment, especially how media work?
It's my first time in China. I've been here so few days actually, and I'm not an expert to say.
Okay, that's fine. So may I know like which sources do you mainly have access to news?
I don't like news at all. My main source is maybe my husband, who says something that now this topic is hot. I use Facebook and I use some daily newspaper of Estonia.
So mainly newspaper and other people on Facebook.
Yeah.
So how do you judge the credibility of these kind of sources?
I know that the Estonian media is really good. Yeah, there's no propaganda or it's a free media, so the credibility is high.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Speaking about like a lot of fake news on social media, how do you think like mainstream media, like kind of newspaper or television news, can play a role in reporting sexual harassment?
I think it usually plays a bad role because usually what we see on social media, what we see in the newspapers, is all very negative.
Yeah.
And there's not many countries that actually show positive news anymore.
Yeah.
All the positive stuff is put to the side, hidden, and all the bad stuff is shown. So personally, I don't think it's very credible, a lot of the things we see.
So even the news on mainstream media are not very credible.
In my opinion, no. But I like to believe that things are a little better than they are. I don't watch a lot of, I don't keep up with social media much with the news just because it's a little depressing. Too much bad. It's too much bad, not enough good.
So speaking about this kind of social media movement, it is mainly in Western countries. So actually, there's not a lot of reporting in Eastern countries. Have you ever heard of any?
No, I think, say in China, everything's kind of, if there is something bad, maybe people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas in Western countries, everything is bad.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a balance. I think in Eastern countries it needs to be published more, and in Western countries it needs to be published less.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a good balance.
Yeah, right. So I have an example here in Thailand. In April, there was a Songkran festival in the water, the New Year festival in Thailand. So there was a lot of sexual harassment cases taking place there, and the government recently said that in order to prevent sexual harassment, women should not dress too sexy, and so there is a lot of resistance about this claim made by our government on social media movement.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's almost like people can't wear what they want to. So especially women, like I can walk around in shorts and a t-shirt and it's fine, but if a woman wants to walk around in shorts and a t-shirt, it's very different. So especially for women, it's difficult to talk about and difficult to say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think women should be able to wear anything they want and not have any sexual harassment. I don't think we can stop it because there's just too many people that take advantage of women when they're not wearing enough clothes. Yeah, it's bad.
However, like when government make this kind of claims, they use some kind of evidence. For example, a lot of news media, when they report on how prevailing sexual harassment is, they usually use surveys.
Right.
So there's a lot of surveys saying like more than half of the women or more than 60-70% of the women say that they have been sexually harassed. So do you believe this kind of survey?
Yes, if it's a legitimate survey, then yeah, I would believe it. But yeah, I think it's probably true. Yeah, surveys are usually quite accurate because it's good to collect data on these things. But also, some people may just say, "Oh yeah, I've been sexually harassed," but it's different levels of sexual harassment as well.
So like it depends on the people who are being surveyed define what sexual harassment is.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So someone could have like for example, a teacher puts his hand on their shoulder when they're talking to them. Is that sexual harassment?
Right.
We don't know. But yes, other people might say yes, some people might say no, it's fine.
Right.
So I would say surveys are okay, they're pretty good. But it does depend on the person's opinions about sexual harassment a lot.
Yeah. So one last question.
Sure.
May I know where you come from and where do you mostly read news?
Okay. I come from the UK. I usually read the news on social media, for example, Facebook, but I try and stay away from it a lot nowadays. Or sometimes my friends and family will message me and say, "Oh, did you see this? Did you see that?" But I only look at the big news, the really important stuff. That's about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So like we're doing a research on how media report sexual harassment cases. So have you heard of the recent Me Too movement? No? So it's a movement on social media that is from the United States.
Me Too, the campaign.
Yeah, the campaign. So what do you think of this movement?
I don't know. It started for a good cause, but then it took too much of ampleur, or I don't know how you say it, scope.
Scope?
The scope was getting
Very
bigger
wide.
and bigger,
Yeah.
And not only for a good reason, everyone was talking about Me Too, and even men started to do the Me Too things.
So like you think it starts with a good purpose, but now like it's so viral now you cannot tell if it's still like helping reporting sexual harassment cases. Okay.
So the first purpose was because of assaults against women. And then it was just against everything, against just little remarks that women can get on the streets, and sometimes that's just the way it is. You don't need to. I mean, if a guy is telling me, "Oh,
No, but it's all about is feminism
Yeah.
a good thing?
Yeah.
You know, I do not like feminists and I do not like machos. We are always struggling for equity and equality between sex. But is feminism equality? I don't think so. So, in my opinion, Me Too is not a good thing.
Okay. So speaking of social media movements such as Me Too, there is the wide scope. So like, but these kind of social media movements are actually mostly popular in Western culture. So like in, for example, China or Southeastern Asia, there's not a lot of movement. So what do you think of the
But that's because everything is controlled there.
So you think government? It's
Yeah.
because of government or censorship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
We can't Google here,
Yeah.
so
oh right.
it is sort of.
And even with Baidu, it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You do not have access to
I can
all
get
our
access
media
to my
sites.
mails.
Yeah.
I can get
Yeah.
access to all media.
Right. So speaking of government censorship of media, actually in Thailand, there was sexual harassment cases in the Songkran Festival. It's their New Year festival. So like there's a lot of sexual harassment cases taking place there.
Yeah.
And the government said that the woman should not dress too sexy in order to prevent them from being sexually harassed. And there's a
mean-
media backlash on social media to prevent this kind of government's notice.
Well,
But it depends where
Yeah,
freedom
it-
stops.
yeah.
It depends what you mean by freedom, what you can do, what you can't do. So, in our countries, in Western
You can
countries,
dress like you want.
yeah,
But if I'm going out with, I don't know, just a bra.
yeah, of course.
That's
Yeah.
provocation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Everyone
Depends of
has
the
to,
limit you
yeah.
want to put.
Okay. Thank you. Have you heard of Me Too movement on social media? So generally, how do you think media movement
I think it's great. It's time that it comes to life and the girls can speak up their mind and tell everybody what's happening.
So there are also criticisms saying that this kind of social movement is too much. Right? There are also like fake news, like
Definitely.
Yeah.
It can be misused and a lot of ladies are misusing it. And they're hurting people that they don't like. You know, they don't want to have that relationship with them, they hurt them. So that's not fair.
speaking about social media, there doesn't seem a lot of enough coverage on
I think it's because the young people are on social media and that's why it's way too much harassment.
So you think social media played an advantage because it's spreading awareness? Are you still get most of your what about like newspapers? So do you watch a lot of sexual harassment cases?
No, they try not to because it, like you said, it's becoming too much. It was okay in the beginning, but now everybody is coming and it's too much.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Like most of the sexual harassment cases are reported in Western countries, so that there isn't enough coverage in recently there's a song festival. Their New York festival. So like there's a lot of harassment scandals. The government said that in order to prevent this kind of harassment, women should not have to sex. So what do you think of this movement?
I think the artists can do a lot and just showing too much. That's not healthy.
哇，你这个